Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TKMaths is fun. In this video, we will see few more examples of the concept angles in a parallel line, in parallel lines and in polygon. This question is taking care of the both concepts. In the earlier two videos, we have seen separately how angles are calculated in polygons which are unknown and with respect to parallel lines, right? So in this one, let's see here. But before starting the question, I would help you to recall few concepts. Number one thing, whenever you are seeing the question related to the concepts, you should know very well. And that comes automatically in your mind, right? If you have done a practice multiple times. So in the last video, I told you two properties. Number one was, if lines are parallel and there is another line which is crossing it, it is called transversal, then this angle, for example, okay, this angle and this angle, sum of these two will be equal to 180 degree and it is called interior angle. So if one angle is unknown, we can easily find out. If only this one is given, A is given, you can do 180 minus A and you will get B. Similarly, on the other side, this angle and this angle, sum of these angle equals to 180 and reason is interior angle. And it is remembered by the shape C. If you see this side, not exactly C, but to recall it, the shape is like that. Similarly here. And second property we learn, vertically opposite angle. And that is when two straight lines are crossing each other, then these angles are equal to each other. Similarly, this angle is equal to this angle. So for example, if this is 20, this is also 20. If this is 160, then this is also 160. Okay, so we learn these two properties. Now let's see which other property we learn here. Okay, one I can see very clearly, so let me explain to you that also. When two lines are parallel, okay, and transversal is here, right? Then if you see, this is forming a shape of Z, this side, okay? Can you see the Z here? And these angles are equal and it is called alternate angle. So if this is, for example, 60, then this is also 60. Can you see any such thing in the given question? Think. Yes, you are very right and you have identified very correctly. This, and this forming a Z. I'm not saying exactly like Z which is written in English, but the shape like that, right? Because Z is not written like this ulta. So if this is forming a shape of sort of Z, then this is 64 degree. Y is equals to 64. So without doing any work, just by looking at the diagram, if you can recall the property, you will say, oh, y is equals to 64. And if question will say, write down the answer, then what answer you will give here? You will write here 64. Yes, you will write here only alternate angles. Alternate angles. Now you might be thinking, what is the use of this? Okay, maybe in this question, teacher has taken only part of the question here. Get it? Only part of the question where it is not used. So do not get confused. Oh, why there is another number? Why it is not used? No reason. Maybe there was another part which is not asked and that's why we have to only look at this. Make sense? And always read the instructions which are given in the question very carefully. So question is saying very clearly DE is parallel to FG. Okay, make sense? Let's see the next question. Oh my God, it looks so complicated. But we will do stepwise and we will see we get the answer in how many minutes or how long it takes. So without looking at the question, only looking at the diagram, what comes in your mind? Okay, forget about XY for the time being and take it as a game. So what angles you know in it? Let's just start filling it up. Okay, slowly. So first of all, look at this straight line. Okay, so if this is a straight line, then this angle will be what? Because angle on a straight line is 180 degree. So 180 minus 150 is what? 30, you're right. So I have written here 30. Okay, but remember these two lines are parallel. Okay, we will keep that in our mind also, but later on. Do you know this angle also? Because it is also a straight line. This is also a straight line. Yes or no? So what is 180 minus 85? You can do it on your notebook. 180 minus 85. 95. Okay. Now this is 95. Now what? What should I do now? Do I need to calculate this angle, this angle, this angle? Maybe if I want to, if I'm not sure. But now I will look at the parallel line. Okay, how come parallel line is helping me to calculate other angles? Otherwise, this angle is easy to find out. Why? Because this is a triangle. And sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degree. So this is easy to find out. But let me first of all look at here the parallel lines now. Okay, and I told you whenever there are parallel lines, the line which crosses it is called transversal, a straight line, not like this. Okay, one straight line crossing them is called transversal. Okay, so if I see this line and this line, there is one transversal here. This is going straight from here. Okay, I am basically highlighting it by covering them with other colors so that you can also see it very clearly. So if you forget the rest of the thing and only focus on green and purple line, what do you see? What is the relation you see? Do you notice that these green lines and this purple line, okay, let me use the same color so that you can easily recognize these green lines and this purple line. Can you see these are inside angles when we were talking about C shape? So these are interior angles. So X and 30. Can you see this is 30 written here with this green and purple line, and with this green and purple line it is written X. So X is very easy to calculate. It is what? 180 minus 30. So I can calculate X here clearly, and I can say, after writing this, okay, first of all I will mention this, and then I can say X plus 30 equals to 180, and I will say interior angles, and I can calculate the value of X, 150 degree. Now what about Y? What do you see here? So now look at Y. Is it forming Z here? Can you notice this thing? Shape, right? And we have just seen in the previous question. So this angle equals to this angle. So I can say Y is equals to 95, and reason is what? Alternate angle. When it is Z, any shape of Z like this or like this, whatever shape of Z look like, but this is called alternate angles. And I would recommend that do mention how did you calculate 30 and how did you calculate 95. So you can give it a name here in the beginning of the question. You call it A and you call it B. And you can say A is equals to 180 minus 150, angle on a straight line. Similarly, you can say B is equals to 180 minus 85, angle on a straight line. So in this way, one will know okay, how are you getting all the angles, and you have given reason also. I hope you understood it. If you don't, if you have any question, please write it in the comment. I would love to explain it to you. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please press like and subscribe button to encourage me. Take care. Allah Hafiz.